Hello, this is Tyler with another YouTube blog. My last one was on the results of Final Resolution. Tonight, I'm going to save my week in wrestling for the end of the week, but something I've been hearing a lot about lately is Hurricane Helms, Gregory Helms, Shane Helms, whatever the fuck he goes by, once is talking shit about Shawn Michaels. Let me dig up the quote here. And I get all my stuff from eWrestlingNews.com. Yeah, I just farted too. He says, "He really let me down as a person. He's the biggest hypocrite in the wrestling business. His whole religious gimmick is a fucking work." He also called him a cockeyed piece of shit and said one of the biggest drug users in the history of the business who has snorted more coke and done more steroids than anybody else in wrestling. I'm going to have to call bullshit on Hurricane because I've said it on one of the forums. Hurricane, I've never seen Shawn Michaels' name come up for any pharmacy drug-related shit since he's been back, and you know, some Michaels never got suspended for wellness policy violations. Whether or not he gets off because he's Shawn Michaels, I don't know, but I highly doubt he's doing any of the shit that Hurricane's accusing him of, because Shawn Michaels has the average body of a fit person his age. You know, he looks good and fit. Hurricane used to be really good and fit, and when he came back as Hurricane Helms after being Gregory Helms and being Cruiserweight Champion, he seriously looked like shit. Like all those guys from North Carolina, you know, Jeff and Matt and Hurricane, they all take these breaks and they come back looking like shit. Matt Hardy looks like shit. I'm not the best looking guy, but you know, if you're a wrestler, you gotta look a certain way, and Jeff Hardy looks fucking plastered every night. So it's, you know, it's really hard to take those guys from North Carolina seriously. Yeah, they're just fucking stupid. But I'm sure Shawn Michaels can be a dick, but anybody can be a dick. You know, wrestling, it's all politics and shit, but you know, I really don't think he's as bad as Hurricane's out to be. And I've noticed, like, anytime a wrestler gets fired, released, or everything, he like finds a certain wrestler and just picks on him, says they're the reason why I didn't do well. They blame it on Triple H a lot, you know, they blame it on whoever. Bottom line is, it comes down to you as a performer. If you don't, like, Hurricanes the last couple years in the company sucked ass, and it shows by the, you know, it shows by how he performed and how he looked. And so if he gets treated like crap, it's probably because he was crap. And you know, he was talking about Michaels being a bully or something, and you know, doing whatever he wants. I've heard that Hurricane can be a dick himself, so you know, it's not so nice when the shoe is on the other person. So Hurricane can go fuck himself. That's what I think about the whole situation. Let me think, is there any more important news that I want to blog or talk about? Nah. Well, I guess I can go back to, you know, more of the Jeff Hardy situation. I think having Jeff Hardy as champion in TNA is really stupid. The guys, like, I know RVD smokes weed, but, you know, it's just weed. This dude could be facing prison time, and they make him out to be this great wrestler. Jeff Hardy's not a great wrestler. RVD may smoke weed, but, you know, he backs it up with good in-ring performances. And, you know, Jeff Hardy, I've never once, the only match I've ever seen Jeff Hardy do really well in by himself without it being a tag match is that night he went up against Undertaker in the ladder match where Undertaker, you know, shook his hand at the end. That's the only match I've ever seen Jeff Hardy do really well in. He doesn't do good in any other matches, and I think his reigns as champion sucked, and I think the only thing that made him really good is CM Punk is an amazing wrestler. And, you know, in TNA, his matches suck. He's not a good wrestler in TNA. Worse than he was in WWE. And they put him with all these people that are good. Like, I think Matt Morgan's probably one of the best big men that's been. He's up there with Kane and The Undertaker, in my opinion. as far as a good big man wrestler. And guys like the Pope, and you know I honestly thought going into Bound for Glory that Anderson was going to be the one, and he's way more popular than Hardy will ever be with the TNA fans, because Anderson's kind of like a Stone Cold character, but they chose Jeff Hardy. They turned him heel, which was stupid, because like he's actually a good heel, but the thing is you have so many little teenage girls that love him, and now like he's just, if he didn't have the good fan base as a face, just he's just not. I don't think he should have been heel. But shit happens. He'll go to jail, and then they'll find somebody to take his place, probably AJ Styles or something, because that's what wrestlers do. But no, those are my thoughts on those guys from North Carolina. Peace.